like, it's not, like, I feel like, for me personally, and realistically, I will process things for a good, like, 72 hours until I feel like a little resolution within myself that, like, what happened is okay, or, like, I'm okay. Or worse, which is, you know, what usually happens for me, is that something else will happen. And so then I will switch my focus of that thing, like that stressor, to another stressor of, like, and start to process that one instead, and not fully have, like, ever finished processing the first event.
Understood. Okay. Thank you. That's really helpful. I think that there are lots of models of race-related stress that are talking about exactly what you have described. So it's just not something that impacts people in the moment, but it also impacts them days, sometimes months later, and have interviewed people with very vivid experiences that have impacted them from years ago that they still hold on to. So I appreciate you providing that information.
Yeah, I think that, like, what I'll add to that is I realize that it's, so, like, there's a student, I'm taking critical race theory, and there's a student in that class who's of color who is of the belief that our new university president coming in, if they were a person of color, things would get better at the university. And she's so nice, and she's super radical, and I'm like, she just seems so young and hopeful and excited. But she asked the class, like, well, is the new president a person of color? And I literally, with not even thinking, I'm like, does it matter? Like, she hasn't done anything to me. She's really nice. She's fine. I don't even, like, have any beef with her or anything. But I was like, what? Like, and later on, I was like, that reaction is a direct indicator of, like, how I feel about all the people of color at our university who are, like, making life so different for us.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm going to ask you question number 3, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah.
Thinking about a specific experience with racism, this could be an experience that you've already talked about, so the one with Becky in the classroom, or it can be a completely different experience. So thinking about a specific experience with racism, what was it like to experience and manage the stress caused by racism?
So I'll actually instead talk about, in my master's program, I had a faculty member corner me in a hallway. A white faculty member who told me that this is why no one wants to work with you, and it was so stressful, especially because it was, I don't know, like 3 weeks out from me graduating. And I think that the experience, first and foremost, was just, like, devastating. So, like, in that moment, I just started crying, and I went and I talked to the associate dean of the college, and, like, all this stuff just happened, and I just had all these moments where I was just like, man, like, how is this still, like, I'm 3 weeks from this diploma in my hand, like, how is this still happening, kind of thing.
Right.
But then I think, and one of the greatest things about being a fantastic Black queen goddess is that I literally jumped into survival mode. So, like, not even within 24 hours, I had, like, filed a complaint with it's OEO, which is, like, our Opportunity Equity Inclusion Office or something like that. I had talked to the dean of the grad school. I had emailed the professor and was like, I do not think that this is okay, and these are the ways in which I am not okay with what happened today. Copying, like, all of these people on it. I talked to the provost. Like, it was such a moment in which I don't think I ever really processed, like, how I felt about it after the fact. Because at at that point it was literally like, it's almost like a switch in my brain was like, okay, like you're really upset about this and this is devastating, but you're also not going to let this person keep you from graduating. And I think that that's why I managed that event so differently, was because my end goal was like right there and I could see it. Mm-hmm. And this person was like trying to stand in the way of me and that goal.
Okay. I'm wondering, after that experience, and let me go back. So you felt that experience was racist because, if you could fill in the blank. So that experience of being courted in the hallway was racist because what?
So that experience was racist because this was a white woman telling me the ways in which she thought I should not act. Mm. And her really standing there, like, she chased after me. Like, what? Where did I do that? I don't know, but it happened. And so just that aspect, the fact that, like, she followed me into the hallway, which also I think very much supported my case because there's cameras that people saw her on. Mm. But then also, like, the things that she said to me. So, like, not, like, if it was just another white person following me because I forgot my pen or because I lost my ring or because something happened, that interaction would have been very different by like words exchanged. But because it was a moment with my back against the wall where someone was telling me why I was angry and hostile and why no one likes me and that this is why people don't want to work with me, everything about that aspect and the fear and, man, the fear I felt was 100% makes me realize that whole thing was a racist incident. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the fear in that situation. What were your fears?
So first and foremost, I've never had anyone follow me out of anywhere. Mm. So, like, I think, like, a survival fear, like, almost like fight or flight of being like, is this person coming for me? And, like, they are coming for me. So, like, fear for safety. Mm. But then also, like, not only does this person have potential to harm me physically, but then also, like, mental fear. So, like, this is actually happening, and I don't know what to do, and I'm not sure why this is happening, and I don't have any resources. Like, it's not like this has happened before, and I could be like, I know what to do. I literally was just like, oh my gosh, like, is this seriously happening? And, like, no one's around. I'm by myself. No one's going to believe me. Like, all of these thoughts and questioning of, like, what's going on, and then also just like in a matter of, I want to say, like 45 seconds to end up in a moment of being like, this person is going to try to keep me from graduating.
Right. Okay. I want you to look at the underlying questions. So there's some sub questions, and see if you feel like you've answered A and B. If not, we can talk about them. But the first one is, after that experience, how did you react or feel? And I don't know that we've covered that. So I just wanted to see, how did you react or feel directly after that experience? You talked about fear, but were there other things that came up for you?
I think the greatest thing for me, and I really want to like highlight almost like the switch that flipped for my brain from going like, from, like, I felt in that moment I was very much like in this flight response where I was just like trying to get out of there. I was just trying to like run. I was just trying to do something where I was not in that moment. And then even several hours later, still in this like flight feeling of like a lot of crying and a lot of just being so upset about everything that happened. But like for me, there's also this triggering that I feel that I've learned from probably my mom more than anyone, is like the fight response. Mm-hmm. And then after that, it was just like, my emotions about it completely changed. Like, I was just like, she's not going to come for me. She's not going to come after me.